the review we're going to do today, Tarot Disassembled by Jennifer Cooper Stiley. Look at that. Is that the box, by the way?
This is the box.
Look what I got. I have the black one.
Oh, wow. Oh,
I didn't know they were more.
Yeah, it comes in two different colors. You can either get the yellow one or the black one.
I love this thing. Oh, by the way, Rini has a good suggestion. Might help with the live. She says, can we have a contest and win this? And when she says win this, I don't know what she means to win. So what is it you want to win, Rini? Let me know. But but as an example, people who come to the live get to enter their name to win something.
Oh, cool.
You
what
know.
Are we?
Yeah, we're gonna have
a date with Dax. They win a date with Dax.
Oh, you know what she wants is she wants to win the wall hanging.
Oh no, no.
No, Mary's not giving that one up, you know.
I'm not. You're gonna have to go through me first.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe we'll pick one of those up from Amazon or something else.
Yeah, that does sound fun. We should do that. We should have like prizes of some sort.
Yeah, that might.
I have crystals. They could win a crystal.
Oh yeah. That's a great idea. Maybe one of these lives do a mini version of There's a Rock for that, and just show a couple of your favorite stones or something, and we can chat about what like how you would use those stones with tarot would be a good
yeah.
Putting it together.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's Jennifer. Hi, Jen. We were just showing. We're gonna open them up in a bit here, but I love how Mary's got what color is that actually? Is that like a yellowish or orange box?
Yeah, it's like a yellow, like a sunny yellow color.
Yeah, see, I like black, I really do, but my favorite color is orange, which is what I love about the edging of this. We'll get into that in a minute. I gotta fix get myself off mute permanently. I was holding the button down to talk, and I can't do that and hold my box at the same time. The greatest thing about this to me is the box. I know it's insane, but I just love this box. It is so well made. And look, folks, it's magnetic. It's got magnets. And it opens up like that. And there you go. And look at the inside. I just love that.
Oh, see, that's my inside.
Yeah. Very nice. Now under the cards, there's a saying. And under the cards, does yours say the same as mine?
What's yours say?
May these cards illuminate the shadows and lovingly guide you through the dark, much like the light of the moon.
Oh, no, mine says something different.
Tell me yours.
Mine says, let me get my glasses because I can't read it. Hold on.
And while you're doing that, real quick, let me show them where I was reading that. It's inside under the cards, folks. And I had the moon symbol. Yeah.
I can't. Hold on. I need glasses for my.
It's a bright light. Or better glasses.
I know. Hold on. Let me get out my magnifying glass. Okay, now I can see it.
Wow, that's bright.
May these cards be a reflection of your own radiant light and lovingly illuminate your path, much like the light of the sun. So like you got the moon version, I got the sun version.
That's cool. I love that.
It is the coolest.
Jennifer has thought of everything with this deck, by the way, folks.
She has thought of some cool stuff here.
Look at the edging. The edging, folks. It's like my favorite color, orange. How's your deck edged, by the way? Is it?
Yeah, the same.
Same. Okay. And then what about the backs of yours?
The same.
Do you have the black also? Okay. I was
Yeah,
just wondering
yeah.
because the box was so different. I was wondering if something was different about the cards, but it's not. It's the same. And that's the backs, folks. And you can see some of the symbols. So we've got the wings and the lemniscate and the sun and the moon and the water and the clouds and what's else on there? I see crown.
Oh, on the backs,
Yeah, crown,
the wings, a crown, a rose,
rose. And
a mountain, water,
so for those that are
grapes.
unfamiliar, it almost looks like plastic. This is so well done, the edging and everything. And the cardstock. Wow. The cardstock. Holy cow. But what I wanted to try to show, well, okay, because I'm doing the green screen, it's a little hard. But you can see this is what we're talking about. It's like all the different symbols kind of extracted from a card and then put back in a semi pattern kind of thing. And there's the full card. Look at that. So it's all the elements minus the person, which I kind of like that. By the way, Jennifer, is that
Yeah.
how it is on all the cards? We asked her this on the radio show and now I forget. We interviewed her a while back. There's no, like, the people have been removed, but you
Right.
might have like their clothing might show up. I see shirts, uh, boots, socks, the crown. So you'll get those elements, and even the dog. There's
Yeah.
there's uh, Sharona's little white dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
I'm still learning how to do this green screen thing. And so it has all these. And you know what I noticed going through the cards, Mary, is that what's really cool, I think, especially from a learning standpoint, that
Mhm.
you'll see how frequently the same symbol shows up on other cards where you might not notice that in the full-on artistic renderings on different decks. Even
Mhm.
even the Waite, obviously these symbols are from the Waite Smith version of the deck, but there's thousands, and you might not pick up on individual symbols, but when you look through this deck, you go, oh wow, the rose is here and the rose is there and the rose and the lily are here and the rose and the lily are there, and you can see all the cards that they show up on.
Mhm. Yeah, that's why, and I told Jennifer this, when we had her on the radio show. I think this is a great teaching tool, because there's so many different approaches that we take to, to try and to remember all the symbolism on all the cards and everything. We learn about the symbolism, we learn about the titles, we learn about the numbers, all of those things, and having them extracted like this in the form of a deck where you can pull out whatever card, like we did with the Fool. um I have my giant Rider Waite here too, so you can look at the Magician, in the classic depiction, and you see, all those elements, but like you said, you may not necessarily pick up that all of these elements are in this card. And so I think it's kind of a great teaching tool to have her deck, and use that in conjunction with
Here's the
teaching
big
the
picture.
Rider Waite Smith.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
doing it side by side is really a great way to teach. And it's not
Yeah.
just all the symbols in the individual card, but also how the same symbols will reappear in other places in the deck, which then you start to get a feel for that, where I mean, most good teachers will point this stuff out anyway,
Yeah.
but it's just that here it's so much clearer to see.
Yeah.
See it when it
Yeah.
shows up.
Yeah, and I thought, that would be great. I like to, teach I like to teach one-on-one, but I also like to do like, like a group. And so I feel like this would be great to have, like, I could, you know, pull up like the magician card, like that we were just looking at, and like actually ask them without looking at the card, how are they used? Where are these things placed? And help them to have that imagery in their head to recall it. Oh, he's, the thing is above the magician's head, or it's over here, the fool is got the dog beside him, like that kind of thing where they can kind of recall and start thinking about it. Because ultimately, symbols are just symbols. It's really the interaction of them that we get meaning from. And so I think that this could be used as a really great teaching tool in a lot of different ways.
Definitely. In fact, I'm wanting to re-record the Tarot by the Numbers course because it's been 5 years, since the elements of the course and some of the elements in previous courses, and I've kind of like edited it all together. And so it'd be nice to do it fresh and live with the students, and I can add that element where we're using Jennifer's deck.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that's really cool. What do you think about that, Jen? So Jennifer, actually, she's going to come on and do a workshop. And do I have that date? I got to look up the date, but she would know. Maybe she'll tell us in there. But she's going to talk about, creating your own deck, creating your first deck, publishing a deck, self-publishing, Kickstarters. That's the big one. Everybody wants to know how to do their Kickstarter and how to, source printing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm looking on the list here. Okay, where is that? There it is, March 27th. Creating your first tarot deck, self-publishing, Kickstarters, and more with Jennifer. 4 p.m. Eastern, March 27th. And if you guys go over to the website right now, thetarotguild.com, and right in the middle of the main page, you'll see our live Zoom workshops and Q&As banner. Just click on that and you'll get the full list. And I'm going to pop this in the comments, Mary, for everybody. If they want to, go over there and check out the workshops. But what do you think of this cardstock? Have you noticed how thick this deck is?
Yes, I have noticed that. And like,
I don't know if I can shuffle this.
You know what I have found out with like decks that are like this, where it's like a thicker deck and the cardstock is thicker as well, is that like you have to break them in. And what I do is like I'll take a small section of them and kind of just get them used to bending, because I riffle shuffle. And it's much easier that once you've started like shuffling just like small sections of it, and then start working with the deck until you work up to working with the whole deck. It doesn't take very long, and it's easy to do that. But yeah, like for me personally, I prefer like more flexible cardstock. And it's a moving target. Everybody has different opinions on it. My favorite cardstock is different from somebody else's favorite cardstock.
See, I like significant cardstock, and I would call this significant. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you.
I was agreeing.
I could have sworn.
You thought I was calling you names. No.
No, I thought maybe you had lost my sound because you were going Dax. I can't hear you, Dax, or something like that. So I just wanted to make sure you could still hear me.
Okay.
And I like this. It is harder to shuffle. Some people, when they get a really nice quality deck, they don't, some people don't want to shuffle these, not in the
Yeah.
traditional rifling way. You can do the chaos method. You can lay them down on a spread cloth so that it keeps the cards clean, and you can push all the cards out and bring them all back into the deck,
Yeah.
and it's all shuffle there. If you don't want to bend them, if you don't want to do rifling, and of course
Yeah.
you can do the hand over hand, and if I'm trying to feel the slipperiness now, these are not super slippery. A lot of decks
No.
are, and a lot of people, a lot of readers prefer super slippery, kind of like playing cards, because you can do the fast rifling and everything. But
Yeah.
a lot of the decks nowadays, though, are going to this different kind of stock where it's thicker, doesn't bend as easily, doesn't lend itself to shuffling it as easily, but it's also the linen finish, or the different types of finishes, and so
Yeah.
they're not super slippery here.
Yeah. It's that matte kind of finish. The rose,
Yeah,
it feels like rose petals on this
I,
one.
I
No,
love it. I love the feel
this
of
is
the
a
cards. Yeah.
classy job. And I think, from the way I'm going to work with this deck is use it as a teaching tool, use it as a study deck. And so I'm really not going to worry about shuffling it so much anyway. So that's good, because you don't want to bend up your cards, and that's a kind of can be easier to do when they're thicker like this. But yeah, I think it's just really well made.
The other thing I wanted to say, Mary, that goes along with what you just said there, I can see keeping a copy of this pristine like this and just use it as a teaching tool, or for yourself, and for learning and going through the cards and the symbols and learning symbology and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But um, I I don't know if I'm going to do readings with this or not. I might. However, I can see people reading with this deck, and
Oh yeah.
let me tell you what I think is really cool about it. As you go through the imagery, um, it's all there. You've got the symbols, you got everything you need to work with. But as far as, well, as an example, the quote unquote scarier cards are a lot less scary in this deck. If you look at the death card or the devil card, like the devil card, you've got the chain. You right away you're getting the symbology of being attached to something, or chained to something, or something like that, but without the scariness, of having the actual satyr, or however you want to describe the devil. Remember, we were talking about that on the show, the made up and
Baphomet.
the Baphomet, yeah. And another
Yeah.
another one. Oh, even look, this is gray, the color gray, the hermit, and even gray looks excellent in this deck. I mean, everything
Oh
looks
yeah.
excellent. Let me find this one card. There it is, the tower. Okay, so
Yeah. With the mannequins instead of people. I like that.
right, so it makes it a lot less scary for people. You could use this with kids. It'd be perfect for doing readings with kids or
Uh,
teenagers, or you're doing a reading for the parents and the kids are around. Pull this deck out because it's safer. Yeah, you don't have to explain
yeah.
some of the scarier cards to people. Um, I really like that. It still has the lightning
Oh
bolt.
yeah.
It has the rocks. It has the tower falling over here. It's got the person falling, but it's a mannequin, so it's not, or a puppet, a string puppet. I don't know what you would call that. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like Pinocchio. Um, and you get the same essence of the card without it having to be scary. The other thing about it is that it's very attractive. So when you're doing a reading with even an adult, you know, and you're not so worried about it's not about the scary cards. It's just having an attractive deck that has all the Waite Smith symbology, but at the same time, it's done differently. It's got the colors, the better card stock, the superior quality, and just it's a very fun looking deck. You know, I could see it lending itself to readings with people too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it has multiple uses for sure.
Oh, and Taro Vita. Hi, Taro. Hi, Vita. She's in the comments. She said no boobies. Laugh out loud. So I think she's
Well, that's
referring
to the nudity, and
yeah,
that's
in
cool
some decks.
too, because yeah, because if you, and even the Rider Waite Smith, you know, it's like it can be tricky if you are doing public readings. Like if you're at a psychic fair, depending on where you live, that could be a problem. Like where I live, it's a problem. You know. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, we have, you know, to give you an example, we're just talking about, you know, the limited nudity that is in the classic Rider Waite Smith deck and other tarot decks as well. I remember, you know, some years ago here, we have this fine art society that'll put on, you know, art shows, art exhibits, that kind of thing, and they don't allow any nudity in their art exhibits, which is kind of weird because most people think of fine arts like you expect it. You know,
There's a
you think
lot
of the
of nudity
classic.
in fine arts.
Yeah. So yeah, when I do like psychic fairs locally, I've got to be careful what decks I'm bringing with me, because they tend to be, you know, yeah, it's a Bible Belt, but it's like they're really into psychic fairs. They bring the whole family. So I don't know. Go figure.
I know it's the Bible Belt, but they go to psychic fairs. But it can't be nude.
Right. It's
I'm like,
complicated.
this is why I don't, you know. There. Anyway, I'm trying to find, and I'm having trouble finding it here. Hold on. I'm going through because the perfect example there. I finally took me an hour to find the star card. You know, the star card, which is the classic, got the boobies on
Yeah.
it. You know, and this version, of course, does not have the boobies. You know, but it still has all the elements. It even has the ibis. It's got the
Yeah.
stars. It's got the two pictures, the water. Um, I really liked how on Temperance, because one of the
Mm.
main symbology going on for me
Hmm.
as the giant water truck goes by. Oh my God, that's loud. Sorry, guys. I had the deck in my hand. I couldn't hit the mute button quick enough here. So, you know, there's the angel has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the dry land, symbolizing how, you know, the human condition where we're, you know, halfway in the spiritual realm and halfway in the physical realm. And Jennifer still gets that into her temperance card. She's got 2 feet up to the shin. You know, it's basically ankle and foot. Almost looks like socks, you know, white socks, you know. But you know, 1 foot is in the water and 1 foot is on the dry land, on the rocky, right there. And I just think it's great that she got that in there. She even got in the symbol on the angel's chest, which I call it the symbol of tarot. The square with,
Yeah.
and having trouble with the square with the triangle in it, which is it's like the Ankh. It's a symbol for life. So the triangle represents the element of spirit dwelling within the square, which represents the other 4 physical elements of physical manifestation. So spirit within matter, life. That's where that comes from, and that is basically the tarot, because you can line up the major arcana, which is the represent the represents the quintessential element.
The triangle.
Yeah, and so imagine 7 cards, 7 cards, 7 cards, all from the majors, lining up the 7 cards, and of course, 21. You have a 22nd card, which is the Fool, that will go in the middle, and then along the square, the edges of the square, all 14 cards of each suit lining that. And so I've always seen it as the symbol of tarot, the square and the triangle inside of it.
Yeah.
Jennifer said I might have to do a sister deck, Tarot Disassembled, the all boobies edition.
Yeah, Ouspensky calls it the symbol of tarot too, and in his book, and I think that
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're not alone at all. He has like a whole chapter on it. It's kind of funny because I was kind of going over like, but it's this weird thing. You know how, I forget what it was. Was it the live that you and Gary did where you guys were talking about your tarot journey and how everybody should share their, excuse me, tarot journey? And I was thinking about that, and I was just thinking like, wow, what a long, strange trip it's been, right? But Ouspensky, New Model of the Universe, was like one of the first, signposts on my tarot journey. I learned a lot from him. So it's weird, but nobody talks about him. But they should be talking.
I know the name. I love this box though.
I keep coming back. I like mine better. I like mine better.
The box alone is worth the purchase of the deck. I mean,
the box alone. No, the deck is worth the purchase of the deck. This is so amazing.
I'm just kidding, Jennifer. Jennifer's actually here in the comments with us, the creator. I did not expect her to show up.
I know. We're supposed to be like serious now.
Well, I want to show you the back of the back of the box. It has the symbols laid out. It makes it look cool. Makes like a symbol out of the symbols.
Yeah. It's like a mandala.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I don't know. A lot of thought went into it.
Oh yeah, a lot of thought, and I love how just the little touches, like most boxes don't have anything in the bottom of the box. I mean, just little touches like that, and the magnetic enclosure. So it stays and you don't have to open up. The what do they call those boxes that tarot decks used to always come in? The
tuck boxes.
Yeah. Oh, can't stand tuck boxes. But more and more and more, even the major publishers are going with the high quality, high end boxes, even if they're not as cool as this one with the magnetic enclosure. At least they're like the ones that slide up, slide off. I love those too as well.
Oh yeah.
What else do you want to say about Tarot Disassembled here? We're coming to the end of the live here.
Yeah, I really think that people should check it out. I think it has multi-purposes to it. It's kind of a thing where, a lot of times like we'll get a deck that maybe has its own system, or it's so far away from the Rider-Waite-Smith that you have to study it for a while. You have to, wrap your head around it. And this, it's like immediate that you recognize it, and just the fact that it's all these symbols, I think just makes it a wonderful teaching tool. I think you could use it in like multiple ways. It could be teaching, but it could also be like sort of fun, fun to play with, like you could do a tarot memory game, like this, for example, the 8 of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to pull out this, look at those symbols, and tell me, what do they look like in the Rider-Waite-Smith card? What, what's going on with the blindfold and the rope and the swords in that card?
Exactly.
And I think if you use it like that, then the person, like, oh, it's like, oh wait, yeah, she's blindfolded and her hands are tied and all the swords are around her. Okay, well, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to see the symbols? Here they are, just kind of listed, arranged, but just kind of like there they are. How do they interact with each other? In the Rider-Waite-Smith card, I just think it's a great way because it can bring to mind that imagery of the card, and it makes you examine how the symbols are used. So, I mean, Jennifer, I think, has given a huge, really cool gift to tarot teachers and to people learning tarot, because not everybody can take a class or has the time or has access to that. If they get the deck, they can do those kind of practice themselves, like a memory game like that. Like, okay, I'm going to pull, do it randomly, shuffle Jennifer's deck, pull it, and then say, okay, here's the King of Pentacles. There's all those symbols.
Yeah.
What is happening with them in the King of Pentacles? So I think it's so cool.
Well, you could do
Just for that.
something. You could do something with it. Well, actually, I'm just coming up with dozens of ideas right now. I mean, you could play a charades game using the symbol. But
Yeah.
the one that I thought of, which is almost what you're talking about, but it's a little different, is where you have a group of friends, you're playing this game, and you pass it around, and one person is officiating at a time, and that person randomly pulls a card, shows it to everybody. You got a few seconds to look at the card real quick. Okay, then they turn it around and they look at the card, and people, like whoever's next in line, has to give all the symbols they can remember from the card.
Oh, wow.
And if they
Yeah.
don't get all the symbols, it'll pass on to like the next person, and they have to try to get all the symbols, and is there a missing symbol? And I don't know, something along those
Right.
lines. You can play all kinds of great games with this thing.
Right. I
Yep.
didn't even realize it till today. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is even more fun.
Yes, yes, but it could be a charades game too. It's like pick a couple symbols and then you have to come up with something. Or the person that has to guess, they have to hold the card on their head. They can't see the symbols,
Right. Oh,
and
yeah. You could play like a psychic game with it.
yeah, oh my God.
Like
Jennifer, I
the
hope you're writing
Turner
this all
cards.
down. This could go in your next, book
Somebody write
about
this
the deck or
down.
something. Great stuff. Wow. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
if you're watching an archive, or, if you got this deck and you've got cool ideas, shoot them our way, and, or better yet, write an article on the tarotguild.com and, let us know how you're using the deck. That would be really
Yeah.
cool as well. And, of course, you can join us for our monthly Q&A session and we can talk more about this, or the next live